Hey everyone, I am tired and got CR here. He's been
Hello, everyone.
yeah he's there. Boy, I'm probably blinding everybody with a light off my Chrome Dome here. Put something
It's
on
so
here to
bright. It's so bright.
yeah I know I think I just got a text from NASA saying they lost 4 satellites.
So I,
Oh,
I I don't know what you do on this type of stream. So
it's just a talk. This is a
okay.
this is a cut loose, relax, talk about different things. Um, like
So like an after show.
the notice I pinned there was what is the top news story that you'd like to talk about for everyone to talk about, put up in the chat here in a minute. But first I want to say hi to everybody. Okay, and it jumped to the bottom. Let's go back to the top. Okay, Super Scout's lurking, but he's checking in first. So if you're lurking, just check in, say hi. Then you can go back to lurking. Phelan Clan Wolf says he's lurking as well for an hour, then he's going to bed. Tibor is here. Hey, Tibor.
Hi, Tibor.
Joe, Garden State Gardener.
Joe.
Tennessee Bushcrafter. You
What's up,
came in.
TT1? Oh wait, I did. Hey?
Yeah, and let's see. Homestead Aquarius is asking who called this
Hi,
meeting.
Homestead Aquarius.
The only snacks are any snacks you bring yourselves. That's part of being a prepper. Have your own snacks.
Yeah, you're gonna be ready, right?
Yeah. Tennessee Tactical One's here. Hey, Jeremy, I sent you the link. I emailed it to you if you want to come up here. And anybody else that of the crew that's in here so far, if you want a link, just type in link and I'll throw it in the chat there.
Yeah, because I don't want to talk to Gil alone. More the merrier.
Yeah. Well, I earlier this week I found out what TBOR stands for. Really cool acronym there. I like it. But yeah, hang on, I got an echo in the background here in my ear. There we go. Got rid of that. But while everyone's thinking about stuff and anything else, I've been saving stuff here. Okay. Get this. Since cheetahs, chimpanzees, crud first appeared back in 1958, every case has had contact in the United States has had contact with an animal that already had it until this year.
Okay.
California now has 4 cases, and it all looks like shingles, but they're calling it, cheetahs, champies, crud. Oh yeah.
Hello, MT Coiner.
Hey, how you doing? All right. Let's see what I got here. Yeah, so there's that one there going on in California there. But thing is, so they can't confirm how any of these people got it. Although the second person did have contact with the first person, but they're not saying how they had contact. Sounds like they're trying to drum up a new reason to lock people down. Another news article that I got here, you guys, get the irony of this one, okay? Headline: and Berkeley High School mass shooting plot foiled. Okay, and that's Berkeley, California. Berkeley, UC Berkeley. Foiled. 16-year-old boy was arrested in connection with the plot after he turned himself in. What? How could it be foiled if he says, "Oh, I changed my mind and turned myself in"? I got this correct. There was no foiling to it. Yeah. Let's see. California gas prices reach a new record high. Yeah, it went up another 5 cents there in California. there's a reservoir which everybody loves to go to in Northern California. It's near the town of Livermore, where the Lawrence Livermore Lab is, and all the sensitive stuff going on there. There's also Sandia Lab there. It's called Del Val Regional Park. About every other year, it seems they got to close it because of toxic algae. And especially since they didn't get any fresh water added to it, because somebody who's in charge of the state decided in December, no, we're not storing any water. We're going to have tons in January and February. We need all these massive rainstorms we're having in December. We need to just let it flush out to the
That's assuming a lot.
Yeah. And guess what happened January 1st? Not a drop of rain for the month of January.
Do you hear that? I don't hear anything because there's no rain falling.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I tell you.
That's why you need to gather stuff when it's like plentiful for those times of famine. All right.
Well, the thing is, so as fast as they were dumping the water and not letting all the reservoirs in California fill up, they could have done that anytime if they got near full. So why not?
Or they didn't have to start right away.
Fill it up. We had it all, and boom,
pump it back in the ground, right? Refill the aquifers down below. I don't know. Because out in the ocean, it's just like it's not even helping you anymore. Oh, then let's just desalinate it and bring it back. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a smart idea.
Here's the other thing, CR.
Yeah.
That was really irking. I mean, my wife was just so livid she couldn't even talk about it. She was just so PO'd on this. The NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, was saying, "Hey, California looks like they're they put out these maps, monthly maps and 4-month maps." Well, the one in October, which went for the 4-month month in October, was saying California was going to be in a worse drought by the end of January. And of course, everyone in California government got notified about this. And so it was just, like he was saying, "Oh, we got a ton of rain coming. I just know it. I'm smarter than everybody else. I'm the great nuisance. And I froze. He doesn't like me talking about him.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's change the subject.
Yeah. So it's been one of and it's just and now he is such a, when it comes to certain things, he is such a wet noodle, no backbone. So this is the third year California's been in this drought. Last year's like, well, I'm going to ask each individual water district to request their people to do voluntary 15% cut back. Every time they do that with Southern California, it's like, oh, they're cutting back in north. Let's use more water down here. Every single time. And you see people washing their cars and water just running down the street there in Southern California. And it's just, and of course, they're taking all the water from the farmers in Northern California to send to Southern California because Southern California needs the water. Anyways, we got gas prices flying up there in the side chat.
Oh yeah,
it's been shoot. I guess it's been a week and I think it's been about 10 days. It was at Sam's Club in Idaho Falls. It was $4.34. Everywhere else was $4.49, except for 2 gas stations, which were at $4.39. I didn't get over to Costco to see where Costco was. Sometimes Costco is a little bit cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
But so that's the gas up here. Now the gas on my way to California, once I get past Winnemucca, I'm looking at $6 all the way through the rest of Nevada and into California, where one county has an average of 710. Average 710, not the high, the average. And the spread on that average is not too far. I mean, I think everyone in every gas station in Mono County, Mono, MONO, is above 7. Joe says it's $4.59 in New Jersey. And that's the thing. Mono County is way away from everybody, and of course they screw them over the barrel. But some of the ones up farther north that don't have to have the summer blend, that don't have to have all the additives in it because of the altitude of those counties, are still getting screwed over the barrel too.
Oh, can I mention something?
Sure.
See, last week here, well, 2 weeks ago, I mentioned this on my community board. See, out east, I guess that's Eastern time zone here. Mm-hmm. Anyways, there's this big storm. There was big lineups out east for gas because the storm knocked out power. You know, obviously generators need to be ran and all this stuff. So, if that's any indication of what it might happen in other places, right, for you guys in the U.S. or something like that, because we're all assuming that everything's gonna be fine. But remember, we're coming into storm season. It's like summertime. We're not get those storms somewhere on the continent. We're not get that somewhere.
Oh,
maybe we'll get lucky, but maybe we'll get lucky. There'll only be a few, but
I forget who it was that posted it on Facebook, and I said, "Okay, it's official. Today is the first day of hurricane season, and before next week, we're going to have the first named hurricane."
Yeah. So there are 100. There's 100 days of something that can happen until September, late September. So.
Let's see. Oh, Tennessee Bushcrafter is going to be doing some editing. Going to another bunch of junk Tuesday at 8 is okay. Yeah, so he's got to be posting it shortly, though. Hopefully, yeah.
You know what? Can I mention something else too? Something I saw. Now it was news related, but I was looking at the people and how they're handling it and what they're doing and stuff like that. I'm just like, what? People can understand having candles, but I'm like, where's these flashlights? Not even solar lights, all right? I'm like, I could get solar lights from the dollar store or something like that, or go somewhere to get a floodlight.
Hey, you don't even have to buy a flashlight. You can buy those walkway solar lights.
Yeah.
And you just put them outside to get charged up during the daytime, and bring them in at night, and put them in different rooms, and they can light stuff up. Or you leave them just
light
outside.
A hallway, light a bathroom, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like as a night light. So rather than doing a night light, you have these little solar lights placed around, and it's good.
Like I have candles too as a backup, but the primary source would probably be a light source, like a solar light and stuff like that.
Yeah,
because I can sustain that for a while. I don't have to consume the fuel or a consumable like a candle yet.
Yeah.
I use candles if I have to or whatever, but it's because, there's always that danger of flame and stuff like that. So,
well, that's what I like about the candles that my mom started getting. All right, she passed away in 2008, and we were over there. So that's it was actually before I got married. So that's over 34 years ago. She started getting these candles from Walmart, these big fat candles, about 8-10 inches round, and they had
the pillar or multiple wick candles.
I usually have like 5 or 6 wicks in them. You can slap them and they're just going to slide. They're not going to turn over. And
I'm more of I like those type over dinner or stick candles.
Yeah.
Like stick candles are maybe good in a kit or something like that, but not for sheltering in place because you need a stand. They're very not their center of gravity is very high, easy to knock over. You need a stand. I mean, they're not. I don't like those. It's just easier. You might as well just melt them down and make a wider candle. Because you'll be more grateful to have something like that.
Yeah. And the thing is, she had them because of earthquakes there in Northern California. And so, I mean, she probably had about 10 of them. And when she passed away, I turned around and looked, and they were all gone. You know, my sister was there doling out stuff to people. It's like, wait a minute, who put you in charge? Oh, you know, my sister came up from Texas, and she goes, "Look, our mother put me in charge." Nope, she did not. Oh yeah, I go. She put me in charge, and I held up the paper, the latest document. She put me in charge of the living trust, but she'd already given away a bunch of stuff to her favorite cousins, and stashed a bunch in her car. But so I've been, one of the things I found out that works good, and it works good two ways for your food storage if you're into this. And you can also makes a great candle. The big can of Crisco shortening.
Oh yeah, one of those.
You can buy the wicks for the tiki torches. You just stick one of those wicks down in there, pour a little olive oil on top of it, light it up, and as it burns to olive oil, it's going to melt the Crisco and start drawing it up, and you can have like 4 tiki torch wicks in there, and it's going to be, you got light.
And apparently our side chat has a lot too.
Yeah.
Bushcraft, Homestead Aquarius, this thing a lot. I think for me, solar would probably be the first option in that case, like some sort of, because let's say there's no sunlight, let's say
my first option is one of those. I have some LED lights. I get those little blue ones you get from Harbor Freight. I got a bunch of those. They take 3 AA batteries. I got rechargeable batteries. Those are the first things I use because generally the power's not going to be out so long that those are going to go bye-bye. And I got like 50 batteries for them.
Oh, yeah.
So
you can sustain that for a while.
Yeah, that'll sustain me for a couple weeks. But
let's just say like it's a quick overnighter or something like that. I can buy with just solar lights. Generally speaking.
If they're talking about ambience in there, I got a whole bunch of the oil lamps. I got the glass top, glass bottom ones. I got the pewter bottom ones with a nice decorative glass top and the metal plate behind it, pewter plate behind it for reflection. And those hang up on a little.
Or you freeze. Those. I was remembering, Gil, that your prep for today. Remember the one that you pinned my comment about it. Remember, and I was mentioning about the lights.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of options. I mean, like, well, because one of the things I said was, let's say you got an older smartphone or something like that, you could use it as a light option too. Yeah. Let's say it's already charged at 100%. They'll buy you time.
Yeah.
If you didn't have anything else.
My other one here.
Yeah.
This is my old phone.
Okay.
I keep it charged because I still have a bunch of contacts in here I haven't put into the new phone. But I also run all my alarms on here for my live streams and stuff. It gives me the 30-minute warning, the 15-minute warning. And so I keep this charged just for that. But yeah, I mean it provides it's fully charged, so I get light out of it all the time. So I just turn it on.
Yeah, because I tried.
I got some light here on it, and boom.
I tried it. I think I dropped 5% in 15 minutes of the light being on. I'm like, well, hey, that'll give me some time. But if especially with the candles and the solar lights and some other lighting options, I can get by. And I'm really worried about seeing it. It's more like keeping the fridge cold or the heat. Worried about. I can see. I'm good on that.
Yeah.
I'm working on the next thing, like
Well, and
cooking and stuff like that.
And that's the thing, CR, that the power companies are, still doing. They're still putting out their little tidbits of warning, trying to keep it quiet. That, hey, there's going to be power outage, there's going to be brownouts, and that way, if something happens,
I've been hearing about
hey.
this. I've been hearing about this on and off through the community, the YouTube community in Texas and some of the other states down there and stuff.
And I got a notification from. Crap! I got to get it worded right. Shit, I can't remember the name of it. It's basically an association of all the power providers. They're the ones that are in charge of managing the grid, and they're saying they're already seeing problems, and all it's going to take is for one substation have problems somewhere, and there's going to be a domino effect going in. And that's just
there'll
stuff.
be multiple fronts on it, right? There'll be some hurricane in the east, and then there's something else, something happening, and then then people are drawing a lot of power over here for their air conditioner, and then next thing you know, it's like,
hey,
what happened?
And that's not including the scheduled ones. I know.
Oh yeah. Sometimes they have to do that.
PG&E, which is Pacific Gas and Electric in Northern California, and Edison Electric in Southern California are both saying, we're going to be doing rolling brownouts and rolling blackouts. And most of the people don't know about it because the way they made their announcement is,
what's funny? I was visiting a friend. They didn't even tell me about this. Oh, we have a schedule. The power's going to be out here. I'm like, what? How come you guys didn't tell me before we left? I could have brought some battery banks or something, but that was during the day. During the day, if you're lucky, during the day, nothing. You're probably good, but at night, you need to see.
And Tibor has a good point there. Is you hear strange noise outside, kill the inside lighting, and that goes back to the bunch of stuff I was talking about during Security Week about having the blackout curtains, and then you also have get that come on, brain, work. I'm so friggin' tired. That coating, stuff you put on the windows that helps strengthen it from being hit by rocks thrown at it. But they also have one of the films that can block light one way or the other. Just totally block all light coming in.
Oh yeah, like a one-way mirror, right?
Yeah, or it blocks light going out.
Hey, that may be a good thing, a one-way mirror. So you can see out still, but they can't see it, and it would just reflect back to them. And you're like,
that
could be an option.
Homestead Aquarius, the hydropower, other than the big stuff, wasn't the big stuff like Hoover Dam and some of the other ones with all their big generators and stuff, providing power to Las Vegas and then a few other people as well. The big production. And I froze. The big production of hydroelectricity is gone. It's been tore out. California used to have hundreds, if not thousands, of little dams on a lot of the rivers and stuff. These were small dams, maybe about anywhere from a 5 to a 10-foot fall. And they all had fish ladders next to them. And they had 2 or 3 little turbines, and it would feed up into a high voltage system running up and down the canyons and stuff. And I remember going to scout camp on the North Fork of the Stanislaus River, and on the drive up there, every couple of miles, 2 to 3, maybe 4 miles apart, you would see this little itty bitty dam down there and this big pond behind it. And you can see the fish ladder there. And you see the fish at certain times in the season, you see the fish, jumping up the ladder, going up. Some whiner but snowflake. Oh, it's killing the fish. We have hardly any fish. At this time, the fish in these rivers was higher than it was before the dams were put in. because the fish would go up the ladders, and then have this big flat area, pond-like thing to rest in as they make their way up before they start having to work their way hard up the thing. Well, they had a lot more fish surviving because they weren't getting totally exhausted before they got to the spawning zone. And so they said, oh, we got to tear them all out. And they got on their bandwagon and lied to everybody. And they got something passed by up either in the Senate or the legislature, or some, Governor Moonbeam, decided to yank them all out. But they started pulling them all out. Guess what happened to the fish population? It nosedived. And so why are the fish doing so bad? Because you made their life harder. And now without all these electrical hydroelectric generators out there, California has not built a 10th the number of solar panel stuff to make up for the hydroelectric they've yanked out.
Well, they need to diversify, right?
They need to go back and put all those friggin' dams and hydro plants back in, because the fish population was doing so much better beforehand. The ecosystem was so much better beforehand because they were designed around the fish.
Okay.
And it's, these idiots think that anything man-made has got to be bad. In that case, it's like, oh, okay, since you're man-made by your mother and father, you're bad, let's get rid of you. See how they like that. But yeah, it's the hydroelectric is down to just the big dams now. All these little, and I think it's all these little ones throughout are on all the rivers in California. We're producing more than Hoover Dam was. Gee, we just took that big of a hit, and you want to make every household electric, and you want to make all cars electric? Where are you going to get the friggin' electricity?
Yeah, the demand will increase, and the supply isn't even there yet. Let's have to work out.
Okay, got a good question here. All right, here's the quick and dirty answer. If you're running straight from your generator, it's running all of the time. So you're burning up gas. Even if it's only running at 50%, you're using gas all the time. If you have a good battery bank set up with good chargers on it, it can charge those up in half an hour, and it's good for hours before you got to charge it up again. And so you're running for half hour instead of 4 hours or 6 hours. So, right there, I can tell you time-wise of running a generator versus just, all the time versus using it to charge batteries is a big point. Something else I'm going to show you here now. This is called, the green screen's wiping out the green there, but this is called kilowatt. Okay. Kilowatt, come on, focus on it. Kilowatt is great. You plug it in, the outlet, you plug in your appliance to it, and you got voltage, amperage, wattage, hertz, kilowatt hours, VA and PF. I forget what those two are. You can double do some of these, and it changes it. But you can put it in there, and you can do a time lapse on your chest freezer and see how much your chest freezer runs, how much power it draws. You'd be surprised. Chest freezers are really low. If you have teenagers and you put your refrigerator on it, oh, that sucker's going to be going off the clock because, teenagers do, don't you? Open both doors. What do I want to eat?
What's in the fridge?
Oh, do I want freezer? No, don't want something. No, I don't want anything for it. Well, I
We
knew
got
it was
Pastor in
something.
the house with us.
Yeah, 5 minutes later, they finally picked something. Hey, Pastor McQuaddy, how you go? Yeah, I know. It's been that's I've been getting shadow banned on a lot of my stuff. So just remember this: every Thursday night, midnight Eastern, and every Tuesday
Right here.
at 10 o'clock Eastern.
Well, you know what I was thinking about the generator too? If you're running all the time, then you probably don't have noise all the time too.
Yes, and
At
the
least
thing is,
batteries, when
so
you're running on batteries, there's no per se sound.
there's no noise. And if you are running it for only half hour, you can build a really decent quiet box for it. So
Okay.
it won't overheat in a half hour in a good quiet box. And so
Okay.
nobody's going to hear it. A washing machine should kill your battery system. Not as fast as a electric oven, the electric dryer.
Well, a dryer. I would hope you don't need to run the dryer.
Yeah. Let's see what
I'll try the
toasters.
clothesline.
Toasters
Yeah.
run draw. At least of course they're trying to make them more energy efficient and they don't toast as good. But they're drawing 1,500 watts, most of them. Unless you get the new ones and they're down to 1,000 watts. Like, okay, so I do a 1,500 watt toaster for 1 minute, or I do the 1,000 watt toaster for a minute and a half.
What's up, Gear?
Yeah.
The
Pumps are hard. Not just sump pumps. Well pumps are hard on them too. And if you have a
You mean on the batteries?
on batteries, yes, on battery banks.
Oh yeah, because that's quite a bit of energy it's got to do.
Now,
Pump.
unless you happen to have a well pump that's designed to run on 12 volt or 24 volt system, those work a little bit better. And generally, the people that sell those say, all right, you got your house system fine. For your water system, you want to have separate batteries, separate solar panels, and basically you pump for a gravity feed as much as possible.
And if possible, try not to use it. You can get by without using it, I guess, too, right?
Yeah. One other thing that I have. Okay, so I have. If I remember, because I just said, okay, so I got 6 in that box, and then I got 2, 4, 6, 10. So I got a total of 16 golf cart batteries, 6-volt golf cart batteries set up in series and parallel to produce 24 volts. These are the big, deep cycle, heavy duty golf cart batteries. I can run with my, and I have 21 100-watt solar panels. Now those fixed, set in one position only during the summertime. In California, I could run the my AC unit 24/7 in the bedroom, a little window unit to keep the bedroom cold. We keep the door shut so it's not trying to cool down the rest of the house, because when you have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, that means you have to go to bed 7 o'clock in the evening. And if it's still bright out, you need to have all the windows shut down and everything else. And if it's hot, you ain't sleeping. Hey, Emma, how's it going?
Hi, Emma.
And there's a lot of things to consider on it. Now, so if you have solar panels and you have a generator, well, your solar panels will be your primary for charging your battery station. Your generator will be for those days when it's pouring down rain so hard and the clouds are so thick that no light's getting through, or it's snowing so hard that you are going out there constantly trying to keep the panels clean. And you need to charge up the panels because it's raining so hard. So that's when you have the generator for.
Oh, that reminds me. So it would be best to use your generator or run it with that sound when everyone else is probably doing it. Probably, give or take. I guess nighttime would probably not be
Yeah,
the best time.
nighttime is not the best time. If I had if all I had was a generator to keep stuff in the house going, I do time management for my electrical use. So chest freezers, you can charge those. You charge it. You can run for half an hour. You can get a chest freezer all the way cold, and it'll stay cold so long as you don't open it for 8 hours. If you do open it, it'll stay cold for 7.25 hours. If you just open it, pull something out, and close it again. If it is full.
Okay. So if you were
So
smart, you would plan ahead of the meal if you're going to use it. Okay, let's pull this out this morning. This is what we're going to use for today. If it keeps going on, this power outage.
yeah, so you pull stuff out, but you'd also make sure that if you have empty water bottles or milk jugs, fill them full of water to take up space in the freezer to keep it cold.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing to consider is the refrigerator in the house.
Okay.
That comes under martial law.
Okay.
And basically on that, sorry, I just had a notification pop up on the other screen here. I want to see what it was. It was from Joe. He says, your comment got a heart from Garden State Gardener. Thanks, Joe.
Well, I guess you know what Joe's doing.
Yeah, Joe multitasked. Joe multitasked a lot. So when it comes to the refrigerator, you really have it under martial law, lockdown. You can't just go in. Nobody's allowed to go over there and open it up unless they know exactly what they're getting. Open, grab it, close it.
Yeah.
All right.
I always assume, what's funny? I always assume that until I know. Let's just say, okay, oh, they're saying for 2 hours. Okay, what happens if it goes longer? Or you don't get any information how long it might be going for. I always think, okay, this might go longer. I need to be proactive just in case this goes longer. So with the food, right, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's like open, close right away. Not that. Okay, I got a couple minutes, kind of deal.
Yeah.
So, now we just open the fridge for 5 minutes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm just like, we used to yell at our teenage boys, even our daughters sometimes when they stand there, open the fridge and just stand there, and we'd walk by and just close it. Well, it's looking. No, you don't look. You make up your mind what you want to get first. You open it, grab it, close it. Because we're getting brownouts, and if we have a blackout, we're locking the refrigerator door shut. We had one of those bar things we slide over the handle so we could lock it.
Why is there a lock on the fridge?
Because you can't use your brain. Took a while, but they're finally getting it. Now the problem is with the refrigerator is that because people tendency to open it and stuff, it's upright. Thinking of an upright freezer. You open it, what instantly happens?
The cold just seeps out.
This cold just rushes out the bottom, and the hot air comes in the top, because that's the way our thermodynamic works.
Mm-hmm. Cold sinks,
heat rises. The cold just sinks and just rushes out. Now you got heat. Now it's got hot air in there, and it's going to be as that hot air slowly cools, that it's actually warming everything else out because it's balancing the temperature between the hot air and the cold materials. And yeah, so after a while, all of a sudden it's kicking on because we got to run. But if the power's out, it's like yeah.
Well, this reminds me of some of the people that do during hurricane season. Well, if you saw it coming, for example, you always hear this. Oh, I'm freezing water in the freezer, lots of water, filling up the fridge. Even if there's no food or milk or whatever in there, they'll fill it up with the water. They'll freeze like frozen water, right? That way it keeps it like an ice chest. So if it does happen, they'll buy you some time, a little bit more time on it. So you can actually eventually consume it if you had to.
And that's what's interesting is The old ice chests that were not electric, that you put a block of ice in there, were so much better insulated than the modern ones, because the modern ones is, it's hooked up. It just needs to keep it cool a little bit so it can cycle on again. Power companies got their mitts in on that, on the design on that. But yeah, if you have an extra chest freezer you're quote not using with a lot of stuff in it, fill it up with gallon jugs and soda bottles. Fill it up with water. Freeze it. If you're never opening it, it's not going to cycle on maybe once a day, especially if it's in an area where it's kept cool anyways.
Like a basement or away from light, sunlight, in a cooler spot.
In a basement is a good place to keep it cool. And if the power goes out, what do you got? You got a chest full of ice to keep your refrigerator cold.
And that'll buy you time. I mean, for anyone that's gone camping with a cooler, right? I mean, sometimes if it's full of ice or ice blocks, it'll last more than a day. Even in the 90s, right? But you keep it away from light. You insulate it from the heat, from the outside heat as much as possible, so heat can't just penetrate it.
You just gave me an idea. Try to remember which one it is. Igloo.
This reminds me here in Canada during the winter. Sometimes I'll actually bury my stuff outside because I don't have any more space inside. But.
Okay, I'm trying to find the one there. I have one of these. I got several of these. Let me see if I can share this over here. So I got several of these here, and they're okay. And I've used these going up to scout camp and stuff. Pack a lot of ice in there and everything else. But there was one that was blue with a thin white top, and I'm trying to see if I can find. Maybe it may not be Igloo. Let me just look for ice chests and see what comes up. Anyways, this thing is so amazing. It was a little bit more than the regular Igloo one was. But the lid, you could tell the lid wasn't light. The lid was heavy. It wasn't just normally like on this Igloo one here, the top's not insulated. You it's soft and it's hollow. You can tell by tapping on it. This other one you could tell it was full of polyurethane foam insulation. And I actually at scout camp for 5 days. At scout camp, at the end of the 5 days, it still had ice in it.
That's good.
It had a lot of melted ice, a lot of water, and that water was cold. But it kept for 5 days, and this with with people going in and getting stuff out of it for meals now and then. All right, Emma, good point. I was going to jump on that and talk about it. Hang on one second. I'm going to give you the one here. I got to bring it up here.
12-volt refrigerators. Okay.
Prep. There we go. Okay. Ben at Minuteman Prep has, where is it? He did it just a little while ago. He reviews a lot of the power stations, aka solar generators. They don't generate really anything. They're just battery banks with built-in inverters. And he's got a nice chart here going through all of them. But it may have been last summer he did it. May have to go back 10 months or so. But he had he did a review of his he put a brand new 12-volt refrigerator in his travel trailer.
Okay.
I'm trying to find it here. And he got rid of the 110 one that was in there and stuff. And I'm trying to remember, I think, but yeah, he was going through it. Because, all right, here's his RV. And you can see the one that changed and he's moving around. He has panels all over the top of his travel trailer. And then he has the Titan inside that it's charging, and he runs everything off it, including the AC for the travel trailer. He had it up at Scout Camp, and it was still had full power when he brought it home.
Hmm.
But I think it was after that he did the refrigerator swap out. Oh, I know why he swapped it out. Because he swapped it out for a pure 12-volt refrigerator. The one in there was a 110 or propane refrigerator, your standard travel trailer RV refrigerator. And he swapped it out, and he did the review on it. I'm gonna have to call Ben and see if I can find out exactly which one that was. But he had he likes running down the numbers. And
Okay.
And I got the spreadsheet he has where he compares all the power stations, aka solar generators. He breaks them down by battery amp output, battery life, charge time, watts in for each and every one. And so he loves the numbers, and he puts the numbers out there, and he highlights it color from red to green, depending on how bad it is, different shades, and how good it is. So,
can I bring something up?
Sure.
Can you highlight Emma's second last comment there? Because I want to bring up something else.
They're small.
Yeah. Yes, that way. Because let's assume you got a fridge and a freezer or whatever, right? What happens when your freezer stops working? I mean, your fridge stops working. I had that happen before. I was lucky that was during the winter time in January.
Mm-hmm.
I was lucky.
Yeah.
I had spare coolers. I'd use snow and stuff like that until we got a new one. But what happens if that happens to you in the summertime?
And that's the problem. What happens if it happens over a holiday weekend when the stores are closed or something, or like over Christmas?
Yeah, right. And this is not a grid down or anything of power out. It's just a local thing that may happen to any one of us, right? Or it's a freezer.
I can tell you right now, I have a small office, one of those little small office or college dorms refrigerators with a small refrigerator on top of it.
Oh, the mini fridge.
Yeah, sitting out in the shop, not being used. In California, my wife has a second refrigerator identical to the one in the house that we had set up for my mom when my mom had an apartment with us. That's sitting there, not used. It's the backup. So that's we've stumbled into having a backup in both locations. Now, also here we picked it when we bought this house here. There's another refrigerator which is sitting here not being used, but there's no shelves for it. Brandon, the guy I bought it from, would put big, he like when he and I froze. He used to.
You're freezing a lot.
Yeah. He would get big things of meat that like not a half, but eighth of one, big old 20-pound pieces of meat, and he would stick it in that fridge until he was ready to do something with it, and he would finish processing the meat himself in the kitchen there. He had the he could make hamburger, he could cut it up into steaks or whatever else, and then he would freeze it.
Well, I have a question here, because I was just thinking, let's just say You don't have the money for a generator, but you do have a fridge or a freezer. Would you recommend trying to stock up more on the dry can, dehydrated type of stuff more? If you couldn't get a generator, or
Well, a lot of people, especially if, of course, she's asleep, she may be getting up here in a couple hours. Tammy from Rebel Canners
okay,
and some of the others would recommend if you got a couple chest freezers full of meat, get a pressure canner, start canning it. Cook it up, can it, cold pack can it, whatever. Get it canned and on the shelf. You went from the life expectancy of your freezer to 5 years or more on the shelf,
mm-hmm.
just by pressure canning it.
Yeah. So if you didn't have that option of a generator or such and such, let's say apartment, we know someone like Kaylin who's an apartment, so
yeah, she can't
freezing food would not. She probably does it, but it's not her main goal because
for her her main stuff is either freeze dried or MRE.
Yeah, she has that contingency plan to do it like that instead because she knows that she can't get a generator. If it's longer than 2-3 days, then
that's true because in Europe they don't pressure can, they water bath can, and when they water bath meat over there, it's for 3.5, 4 hours, and they have another kettle they're going with water. So as the water starts boiling off in the water bath, they can add more boiling water to it to keep the level up.
Hi, Kaylin. Was Kaylin here the whole time? Was Kaylin here the whole time?
I don't know.
I just saw Kaylin working. I speak of Kaylin and she shows up. I'm like, what?
And what if you are in an area prone to power outages and you're worried about your freezer stuff, if you're going to have a freezer, get a chest freezer. It lasts longer no matter what. One of the things is with the power stations, Ben over at Minuteman Prep was trying something new here, and he dropped some serious money for this. I would say 95% of all the solar generator / power stations he reviews, and he's got a lot of them, he buys. Occasionally, a company will send him one. He says, "Hey, I may give you a negative review." They go, "That's fine. Give us a review. Because you'll say the good, bad, and the ugly about ours, so people know what the good part is." So he did one here. He got 2 Delta Pro, he did EcoFlow Delta Pros, 2 of them. Okay. Then he got 4 of the batteries that almost look exactly the same, but they're just battery packs. So he has the one Eco or Delta Pro with 2 batteries on it, and the other one with 2 batteries on it, and he got the 220 adapter for it. So he pulls off the one, pulls off the other, and it produces 220. And he was able to run 1 dryer, kicked on the second dryer, kicked the entire system off. So he learned, okay, I can only do 1 dryer, and I can't do both dryers, and I can't do a dryer and a washing machine, but I can do both washing machines. So he went through and showed what he could do, what he couldn't do, what the power draw was on it, and he discovered that his house was not balanced.
At least he knows, though, right?
Yeah,
at least he knows before something actually major happens, where you have to rely on something. It's like, I thought this would work.
Yeah.
You use some inverter or something. Oh, no, it's not good enough. I can't run this device. Or electronic or
Tennessee Bushcrafter would know what balanced house is. Basically, you got 2 lines of power coming in, 110 or 120 and 120. When you run your connection to both of them, you got 240 volts to power stuff like your electric dryer, your electric range, stuff like that. If you have so you basically got 2 circuits coming in. If you have stuff being connected up, running mainly off of one side, it's not balanced. And so the one side is drawn more than the other, and being unbalanced also causes your electricity bill to be more because the meter's still spinning to make it meet that unbalanced high side. And even though the unbalanced low side isn't drawing too much, the meter is still spinning to match the higher draw. And like he says, most homes aren't balanced. And that's where I took this front end, and I went around to all my appliances and I balanced the house as best I could. And then I went out to the shop and I balanced the shop in California. The only thing that killed me in the shop in California was the air compressor. When that sucker kicked on, it threw everything out of whack because, it was such a high draw. It was a 17 amp draw on the one side. So yeah, and for T-board, exactly, that's what I say, if you can get, you can buy battery banks and battery systems and stuff. The problem is you're paying for this company who's buying the batteries from wherever. That company's making a profit on it. They're buying it, building their system, reselling it at a profit increase for the materials and their labor and stuff. So you're paying a lot more for it than what it costs them to buy it. Usually a good company has anywhere from 75 to 100% markup on manufacturing. So you can save all that by building yourself a battery system yourself. And
well, you would learn from it too, right?
Yeah, and
I would assume you would learn by doing it too.
Yeah, you learn a lot and stuff, but you could actually, basically for the money you're going to save, you could probably build a bigger one. Get a couple extra.
That's like talking about like a backpack or a bag too, right? Yeah. It's like you probably can get more out of it by doing it yourself too. That just
okay. You can install a capacitor bank that automatically balances the whole home. Is that very expensive, Tennessee? Because that'd be interesting for people, that that want to try to balance their home without having to worry about going into the electrical box. Okay, so I need to move this breaker here on the line over to the other side, or move it up one, to put it on a different leg and stuff. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Yeah, so 34, you wired one balanced home, had an accurate blueprint because the homeowner was an electrical engineer. Yeah.
CK-Win's a funny one here.
Yeah, I saw that the flux capacitor from a certain DeLorean. Yes.
So, I was just thinking here. Okay.
Hang on. He said so about $1,200 the last time he checked for the capacitor bank. All right, that's not bad if it winds up saving you money by balancing your power meter isn't spinning crazy all the time. Go ahead, CR.
I was just thinking, okay, let's just hypothetically think about this for a sec. If it does happen, and let's just say it's not just that, it's back in 2 hours, 3 hours. Because I usually have this kind of, if it's longer than that 3 hour mark, I start taking next steps. Yeah. Under 3 hours, most people are going to get by easily. Most of the time, I guess, right? But it's that kind of, when it goes beyond that 3 hour mark, then 6 hours, then 12-hour mark. Because I was thinking, okay, you got solar lights, candles, okay, you're good on lighting, you can see, and
that's the thing, when the power's out, you got to do what your grandparents used to do. Oh, it's nighttime, okay, time to go to bed. Oh, sun's up at 5:30. All right, time to get up. Okay, Tennessee says the capacitor bank can pay for itself in about 3 years, especially if you're on PG&E or that's Pacific Gas and Electric, or on Con Edison in Southern California. Then it'll pay for itself in 18 months. And I tell you, the prices there. All right, here in Idaho, we're paying a quarter for this all-electric house. Then my wife is paying for the house in California, which has a gas dryer, gas water heater, natural gas water heater and dryer. So she's not using electricity to dry or heat water. Here it's an electric hot water heater, electric clothes dryer. But, depending on your rates and how much you're getting bent over the barrel and raked through the coals by your electrical company, that capacitor bank that Tennessee was talking about might be the way to go. Oh, Kaylin's got this right. Especially if they lose their internet during that 10 minutes. My youngest son, gets ticked when the power goes out and he gets kicked off his game. The older son, a little bit, not so much. But I keep telling him, hey, both of them, take some of that money you're making, and get yourself a good portable power station. What I have right here under my desk here, let me reach down and grab it.
That looks heavy.
if I lose power here, I got my Kodiak.
And how much time does that buy you?
Let me put it this way. This is just for the office. I can keep the internet up and running. All three of my monitors, both computers going here. I would probably say 36 hours.
And you could extend that if you use only one monitor or a little bit less and such.
Yeah, if I put down the laptop and its monitor, and I just use the one monitor here on the one computer. Actually, I probably shut down the big computer and just use the laptop. So,
especially if you didn't know it's not a scheduled power outage and you're not getting any notification on your phone that it's coming back. Oh, it's coming back in 2 hours, kind of deal. Or where when it's coming back. Because unfortunately, but coming back to that story I said about out east in Ontario, they did not know when the power was coming back.
Yeah.
They were out for like days and days. Almost some of them were the whole week. Yeah. Right? Because all the poles were ripped out and power lines all over the place, right? So it's not just that 72-hour window.
Yeah.
The 72-hour window is kind of easy. It's going beyond that, right? That week,
Emma?
5 days.
My friend, my brother from another mother, and we say that quite a bit because we both studied administration of justice in college. We both did some time as law enforcement. We both did time as operating engineers. And Scott just last year quit his job as an operating engineer in Southern California. They had bought a total off-grid home up in northern Idaho, up in Bonner County, and he spent all last winter up there off-grid. And he just had to now and then go out there and with a broom and clean off the solar panels. House was wood fired and everything else, but there is no power going to their property. Missed something here. Gear's in the house. Hey, Gear. Garden Warrior Q, how you doing?
Hello, Garden Warrior Q. Anyways, Gil, I still didn't finish this question.
Okay.
Okay, so hypothetically a power outage, and then, okay, let's just think about our own situation, what we would do, and what others might do. So considering the food, let's say you got enough water, you're good on the water for some reason, or you filled up some bathtub, or you got the storage of it, or whatever, or it's raining, or whatever. So the next thing is considering the food. Okay, what would you consume first as the food? And you don't have no idea how long this power outage for. And let's just say this was like power lines are just down. That's the reason, right? So you know that it's not just a blackout. It's actually something physically wrong with the grid where it's not coming back in a few hours because you can physically see the power lines down and stuff like that. So I was always thinking, to me, I would consider fridge stuff first, maybe freezer, before I go on to any dry or canned stuff. Because the dry and canned stuff or dehydrated stuff or the freeze-dried stuff will last much longer. But that freezer or the fridge stuff, it'll probably, even if you got a generator, but let's say you didn't or whatever, you can only go so long.
Right.
You can only go so long, right? Let's just say it's like
exactly.
cloudy for the next 10 days and you got no gas to run the generator. Okay, then eventually you don't have to consume that food.
All right, give you an example. When I go to Sam's Club, our Sam's Club buys its milk from a local dairy here. When I go and get milk, I generally get 2 gallons at a time because their best use by date is 15 to 18 days out. And I go through about a gallon a week.
Okay.
So that's just like I have to make one less trip to Idaho Falls. So now all of a sudden I got, if it happens right after I bought both those gallons, I got 2 gallons of milk I've got to consume fairly quickly. Well, I'm going to take the 1 gallon, since I got a chest freezer that has a little bit of room in it. I'm going to stick it in the chest freezer just so it stays colder and extends its life.
Yeah, and buy you some more time until you can
buy you some more time. The other stuff I got in the refrigerator are I got cheese sticks and stuff for the grandkids and myself. I got grated cheese in there. Mayonnaise. All right, mayonnaise is important to keep cold. Basically, I'm probably going to bring in one that big heavy duty blue ice chest I was talking about earlier out of the cargo container, and set it up on in the kitchen and pull everything out of the refrigerator and put it in that. And I'm just going to pull it all out and separate and sort as I'm doing it. Put some gallon blocks of ice in there with it. And I'm not opening it up unless I need to use something.
Yeah, like you're camping,
and the fact that it's
you pretend you're camping.
Yeah, pretend I'm camping. And the fact that it's like an ice chest, not an upright freezer, every time I open it, I'm not losing all my cold. Most of the cold is staying in there anyways. The little stuff I have in the freezer above it, I know pretty much what's in there. I'm not gonna pull stuff out of there right away, unless it's to put it into one of the chest freezers. Things that I got a lot more stuff than a lot of people do. As far as I got 2 chest freezers and the one refrigerator with the freezer above it. So. And I got more stuff that you're saying you don't have. Like no one wouldn't have my battery backup system, wouldn't have the generator and stuff. So I would say, depending on what size freezer you have, if you got a side-by-side freezer?
One of those that's open from the side.
Both doors. You got one that's above, up or lower. The thing is, they're not going to keep the stuff as cold as a chest freezer will. Period. Because the first time you open it up.
Oh yeah, the cold just leaks out from the bottom.
That's the time where you might consider investing in one of these super duper ones that say, keep stuff frozen for 3 days or 5 days or 7 days, whatever type ice chests.
Mm-hmm.
Get a couple of those, because if you're not using them, it's not costing you money.
Because I'm renting them right now.
Yeah, and so it's out there.
Maybe check every so often to make sure it's working.
Well, no, what I mean is if you have one of these plastic ice coolers, ice chest type things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of those.
I keep some around.
Yeah, and so that's the thing, to move everything out of the freezer and the refrigerator. If you have enough these portable ice chests, camping ice chests, move them into there.
And does normal person actually have enough of it? More than what? People that go camping or whatever obviously have them. But
yes,
there are people that don't go camping, they're probably not going to have that.
Yeah.
So, which means they don't have that option.
That's something they need to look into.
Mm-hmm.
This is a kind of a rock and a hard place. But once you start losing, the power is going to be out for a week because the substation caught fire, or the fire came through and burnt the substation up. And it's going to be at least a week before they can get any transformers from other parts of the country here. Yeah, you're going to be in the same boat of a lot of other people trying to buy stuff.
Or buying ice, right? I think I heard OD's buying ice was a big thing too.
Yeah.
People were trying to buy ice.
Generator, even if it's one of those little inverter generators where you run it just for a half hour, just try to keep your refrigerator cold. Or whether you're going out to try to buy a solar powered power station to try to keep it running for a little bit. There's going to be a lot of people doing that mass buying. They're going to pay 3-4 times the value. I mean, the cost
of ice or something like that
to get it. But as far as what you have in there, so for me, the mustard does not need to be refrigerated. Ketchup does not need to be refrigerated. Relish does not need to be refrigerated. Prior to 1970, we never refrigerated any of those in our house. Our mustard, because it had so much vinegar, just went in the cupboard. It didn't go in the fridge.
Well, it has preservatives in there, like salt, vinegar, and stuff like that to preserve them for a while.
Vinegar is the number one preservative in there.
Yeah.
And the same thing with ketchup and stuff. Those did not go in the refrigerator. At your restaurants, when I used to go to restaurants, Bob's Big Boy and the other restaurants when they were all around back in the 70s, what'd they have sitting on the table there? Bottle of ketchup, bottle of mustard. They sat out there all the time. They weren't refrigerated. So
I see Chuck C's in here.
Hey Chuck, how's it going?
And both Kaylin and Emma are mentioning powdered milk, or canned milk if you have. Well, they'll give you another option to rely on later, if, after that main source of milk is gone or whatever.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm going to be drinking monster-sized glasses of milk, breakfast, lunch, and dinner till that milk's gone before it goes bad.
Yeah, it's better in your system to help you than going bad. Better to consume it than let it spoil and be waste.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to deal with it anyways. Yeah. You're going to deal with the waste anyways.
Yeah. Tabasco sauce spends 5 years unrefrigerated as it's cooking in its vat in the casks. It's curing in or doing its final thing in. So. But all right, my mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is going to be one of the first things I start using up. Unless I have.
Not if it's not open. That's different.
If it's not open, this is it. This is from the fridge.
Yeah, if it hasn't been opened, there's a difference for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. So the stuff that's in the fridge, I'm going to start making sandwiches. Using it on whatever it is I use it on. If I have the canned roast beef or the canned chicken, I'm going to be making chicken salad to eat and or doing the roast beef, where I take the roast beef, put a big spoon of mayonnaise in it, a little spoon of relish in it, mix it all up, and just slap that on bread. If I don't have any bread, I'll just eat it straight out of the mixing bowl. I'm trying to think, what do I need to worry about in the fridge? I got salsa in there, Newman's own salsa. All right, I'm gonna get my bag of chips here, and I'm gonna start having salsa and getting that down. But yeah, I'm gonna start looking at the stuff that's gonna spoil first.
Yeah, I think because I'm looking at the situation, what happened in Ontario out east, like, and this app just happened, and I posted about it, right? And I've been reading about it. Some places took like over a week to get power back. So what happens if this happens in other places? Then, let's learn from that experience from other people and consider, we might not be as lucky, or we might be lucky. It's only a day, maybe two at max, but hopefully it's less, right? So
yeah,
that's why I've been thinking about it,
especially
since we're coming into that summertime period, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. And the thing about powdered milk is so much better when after you mixed it, it gets to sit 12 hours in a refrigerator. The taste changes and becomes so much better. But warm powdered milk, hey, I'll just eat my cereal dry.
Yeah. I mean, I've done that before. Before. It's just like a trail mix almost for me. You mix it in with some berries, you're probably good.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to think what else I got in there.
I like what Chuck put in one of his comments here. I learned last year with the Texas power outage not to be freezer dependent.
Yeah.
And remember, that was during the winter time.
Yeah. And that's the thing.
Some people then queue in to put the food outside, or right till later.
Yeah, and they were able to gather up snow and pack their ice chests and stuff to keep stuff.
That would be the first thing I think of right away.
Yeah. But if you're in the middle of summertime, like in California right now, where they got the forest fires going, and they lose transmission lines, and whole areas get blacked out. You ain't got no snow out there.
Yeah, right. You don't have to. You're trying to consume it, preserve it. I don't know, something, and so it doesn't go to waste. Especially if you knew that this isn't just like a couple hours. It's one thing if it's a couple hours, maybe even 4, 5, 6 hours. But as soon as it starts going longer, like 8, 9, then you gotta start doing other things, because that's enough time for a freezer to not be cold or fridge not to be cold anymore.
Now, if the power's out in your area, but Amazon is still delivering.
That's if you have internet access and can actually do it. You get data.
Hey, if you have your smartphone, you got your smartphone set up where it access your Amazon account. Let me get this up here and go to the cart. Oh, it changed. Hang on, I'll read something here. Okay, that increased. Price change.
We got John's life in here.
Decreased. Okay, cool. The item I was going to look at just dropped $5. So that's.
Are you adding it to your cart?
No, it's in my cart already, just on standby.
Okay. So
it's in the save for later. So this is the. Let me go ahead and pop it up here. All right. So it just dropped $5. Two different guys who are on solar. All right, recommend this brand over Renology. Okay, and this is Rich Solar. It's a 100-watt panel, and it's the monocrystalline, which has the higher power output rate. 100-watt panel is $93 minus a penny. And if you got Amazon Prime, it's free shipping.
Free shipping.
Yeah. So my first system where I used a 100-watt panel I actually went and got 200-watt panels to replace the 3 15-watt panels I was using at the
Okay. Did I lose it here? Did I lose it here? I thought I was still connected. Am I still here? I don't hear Gil. Did I lose connection? You guys can still hear me, right? Because I see your chat, Asa. Hefra. All right, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? I don't know if you guys can hear me. Okay, thanks, Sam. All right, I'll just keep going here because maybe Gil just has to refresh or something like that. I wasn't sure. I thought I lost connection. I'm like, did I lose connection? Then I'm like looking at the side, timer's still going, and you guys are still talking. So, all right. I guess I'll just stay in here until he comes back. maybe something actually did happen. You know how things happen when you're live streaming, right? Anything can happen. John's life. Hello. Hi everyone. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. This time he really did freeze. Like literally. It's kind of funny how he was freezing a lot in the stream, a lot more than usual. Like even for Gil, this was a lot. You know, just to get back to what John. See, I can't highlight anything else, but I know John and Kaylin said about putting stuff outside and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh no, never mind.
There are problems going on here right now. One computer's acting up. I'm going to try to reload StreamYard over here on it and see if I can get back in on my other computer. This is why I like having 2 computers.
Well, never mind. He's back. Okay.
I'm not sure what the heck's going on here. I
was going to have to take over the screen for like the rest of the time.
Yeah, it just is not wanting to go onto the computer. So let me go ahead and do something on this computer here.
While you're doing that, I'll just keep the conversations going here.
Get rid of the background. There we go. Okay, so now I'm on the other computer. I got camera and stuff up on it. Let me. I got to change my earpiece around so I can hear on it over here until the other one comes up. All right, CR, can you hear me?
Yeah, I still hear you, man.
Okay, good. I can hear you now too. So I'm plugged in on the other computer now. All right. So I'm not sure what caused that.
I know why, because we're talking about power. So something had to happen.
Yeah.
I have to prove my point.
Yeah, well, see, that wasn't yeah, so hang on. I got to mute something over here because there we go. I think that's it. All I got there. Hang on. There we go. I had 2 things. My where I was doing my chat commenting was on this other computer, so it was up there. All right, so there we go. The other one is other computer still not acting up. It's not loading right here. So anyway,
Nancy Bushcraft said turn mic down a tad, Gil. That's what you said.
Turn my mic down. Okay, hang on a minute. Go into settings. Audio.
Did you just say that, Gil? People just said
go.
that. And I actually know what that means.
All right. How's this? I'm going to do a 10 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How's that? So,
I'm good, but I don't know about everyone else. I don't have my volume up that high though.
Yeah.
I'm at half.
On this one here, it was up high all the way because when I use this computer on Melon,
Chuck says it's good.
Good. Okay.
Emma had to take off.
Emma had to take off. Okay. All right. So
yeah, it seems good. I can't tell. Other people might be using like speakers. I'm using a phone, so it's not that loud.
Yeah. It may be Chrome on this other computer acting up. Let's see. You got here.
Yeah. Even Kaylin says it's too good.
All right. Let me see here. Let me see if I can just open up another link, or whether it may be Chrome on the other computer here, and it does not even want to open up a new tab. Okay, so, oh well, I'll just restart that computer in a minute. So as I was saying about that solar panel there, that rich solar.
Okay.
So when I was for the Martinez Peddlers Fair, which was every Saturday through the summer, for the Scouts, we were selling ice cream out of a chest freezer.
I want ice cream now.
And so we had the three 15-watt panels there on a little box I had built that had 4 Walmart RV deep cycle batteries in there. And it was barely by the end of the night, it was like they were at half charge, but it was still keeping the chest freezer cold. When I put those 200-watt panels on there, fully charged batteries, no problem, no dip in power. So if you're worried about your refrigerator, and you can put out on a balcony or something 2 of those solar panels, and actually, let me try something here. I may kill myself again.
Don't worry, I'm still here, everyone.
Yeah. So what I'm doing is here, I am. Yeah, I got the moniker Evil Twins. I was always using this one for. That goes back a couple of years when Will Just in Time Prepping. I'd be watching both his videos, both with Camp Patton Found the Compound. And I'd throw up the Evil Twin. All right, so let me go over here.
Explains everything.
Yeah, that explains what Evil Twin's all about. Ooh, cool. Let's see if this will share. Share screen. Boom.
No, I really want ice cream.
Yeah. Okay, so on my Amazon page again, so where I left off was with the rich solar panel, but Battleborn lithium iron phosphate, whatever, LiFo 4 batteries. You have 2 of these batteries here. I mean, you got better than most. Actually, one of these batteries gives you more power than most of the solar generators on the market. And but anyways, if you buy, you do it this way here, open a new tab, boom. Or if you get 2 of these panels here for $93, and then you get yourself a couple of deep cycle batteries, or a couple of golf cart batteries, 2 golf cart batteries, 6-volt golf cart batteries. These will keep those batteries topped off. You have an inverter on there. You turn the inverter on only once every 2 hours to run your refrigerator, freezer, your upright, in the house there. And you listen. So as soon as the refrigerator shuts off, you turn off the inverter.
Okay.
You'll be able to go for months on end, so long as the sun's shining, and you'll be able to keep your refrigerator going. Now, here's a little fact about solar panels discovered in California, there in the San Francisco Bay Area. In the summertime, get all this nice sunshine coming down there. On the East Bay, San Francisco Bay, on the east side, they didn't get much fog there, and their panels were not producing very well because they get hot. And solar panels, when they're hot, you go ahead and bring us back here.
T-Board had to slip out, by the way, Gil.
All right, T-Board, take care. And so solar panels, when they're hot, their efficiency drops off. Here's the interesting part. Over in South San Francisco, where Mark Twain said the coldest winter he ever spent was summer in South San Francisco. And believe me, I know what he's talking about. It gets friggin' cold there when the fog comes in. The solar panels there in the fog were producing better than the hot panels in the sun in the East Bay, because the panels were so cold and the light coming through the fog. It wasn't a heavy, dense London fog. It was just a light fog that chilled you to the bone. But that fog allowed the right light rays to get to that solar panel to make it work.
Mm.
So slightly overcast days, solar panels work better.
Okay.
Because basically they keep the sun from heating them up with the other light rays that the clouds either absorb or diffuse or whatever.
Gil, I was just thinking, what about smog or like from a forest fire? That's probably to be different, right? You get that yellow-orange haze in the sky.
Oh yeah. That's particulate.
Yeah, that's probably gonna block more of the light. It's probably still gonna be warm or hot out.
All right, Chuck. I'm not exactly sure. I just read an article on it 10 years ago. I'm just trying to recall it. But I know that it may have been that the fog was just enough to cool the panels down to get them to work better. But hot panels, I know Ben has talked about that a lot, and several other channels have talked about how electrical guys have talked about when solar panels get hot, they lose their. And Tennessee, heat is always the enemy of conductivity. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Hang on. I'll read this. Okay. They about a 200 amp hour battery for $84 4 years ago. They weighed 110 pounds, but yeah, prices have gone up. Let me go back here and look at this other one here. I'm gonna bring this other one up here to share it with you guys here. Okay, don't have a heart attack on this, folks. This is pricey. All right, so this is the Battle Born 100 amp hour, 12 volt lithium iron phosphate 4 battery. Has about 400 to 500 full deep cycle charges on it, where if you take it down to 0 and recharge it, it'll only do that 400 to 500 times. This is 3,000 to 5,000 cycles. Okay, and on the lithium iron phosphate, after that, it's done that, say 5,000 times. The battery's now at 80% capacity, which is so much more than what a regular lead acid battery is.
Okay.
Passamaquoddy, Sun Oven actually had a sale. Dang it, I deleted that thing because I already have a Sun Oven. They are great.
Especially if your area gets sufficient amount of sunlight.
Yes, and especially if you have it out on a table where you can walk out every half hour and move it move it just a little bit so it's lining up to get peak heat. But yeah, this is on my wish. This is on my wish list. This is a system. So this is actually, the price dropped 8%. So 8% of whatever it was brought it down to 800. It was over $900. So yeah, the price dropped down. So, but yeah, if you're worried about your refrigerator, your refrigerator freezer, your kitchen refrigerator freezer, and you're worried about it during a power outage, probably your best insurance is either to get one of these lithium iron phosphate batteries, or a couple of golf cart batteries, and a couple of 100-watt solar panels, and then you get like a 1500 watt, 3000 watt surge, 1500 continuous, 3000 watt 1500 watt continuous, 3000 watt surge inverter, pure sine wave. All right, not modified sine wave. You want to get it with the pure sine wave. So much better for electrical motors in your appliances. And just build your own little, power station, and have the batteries as close to the solar panels as possible, and then just run an extension cord. And the heavier duty the extension cord, the better, because the heavier duty cord, and the numbers are backwards, the better. An 18 gauge extension cord sucks. A 12 gauge extension cord, good. 10 gauge, even better. Because the gauges go down. The bigger the number, the smaller the wire, and the smaller the wire, the more resistance it has. But so, like for an 18 gauge extension cord compared to a 10 gauge, you probably have like 4 of those wires in a 10 gauge. So
that makes sense.
So you got more. There's less resistance. It's like trying to run your house water through a 1/4-inch tube as opposed to a 3/4-inch pipe. You're going to get so much more water, and the more angles and stuff you have on it causes water resistance. It causes resistance to water flow. So yeah, there's a good point. If your extension cord's getting hot, get a bigger cord, because that means the resistance is heating up the wiring.
Yeah, and you don't want that happening.
All right. Tennessee, the electrician says never use anything less than 12 gauge. 14 is acceptable for very small 5 amp things. I have 14 gauge 2-wire extension cords for my little weed eater. My little weed eater that I still want to get rid of. Yeah. And I have a little Black & Decker leaf blower that 4.5 watts or whatever, or amps, 4.5 watts. Now, good. He agrees with me. He uses 14 on the weed eater on 14 gauge too. I have around here, and I got it when it was cheap several years back. I have a couple of 10 gauge extension cords. Yes, the mighty 10 gauge extension cord. Yeah, I tell you, when I'm using those things out there, it's like, there is no heat buildup at all in those in that 10 gauge extension cord. So so basically you want to set up your batteries as close to the solar panels, charge controller, and inverter, everything as close together as you can to it, and you can run the AC out of it on an extension cord, 12 or 10 gauge, to your a refrigerator freezer unit. I just had a thought. Old man here, right out the other side. the reason behind this goes back to Edison and Tesla. Tesla wanted to use alternating current. Edison was stuck on DC current. DC current has all right. Tennessee is it just voltage or is it amperage drop over distance for DC? Basically, distance kills DC, and they were having to for Edison they're having to put all these transformers in and everything else to try to boost it up. Where with AC it goes a lot farther. All those big transmission lines you see going for hundreds of miles, AC. Tennessee, you're going to love this. When I worked for our construction company, for our water pumps, we had 6-gauge extension cords. But yeah, so that's why you want to keep the distance between your battery and the panels as short as possible, and the distance between the battery and the inverter as close as possible, and you want to have your charge controller as close as possible to your battery as well. And one of the things the charge controller does is keeps your battery from overcharging, and if it's a good charge controller, it also prevents your battery at night from leaking power back out to the solar panels and making them glow.
That wouldn't be good.
Okay, there it is. There we go. So, amperage drops a lot in DC over 100 feet. Yeah. So, there's a lot there. So, that's the purpose for it. Oh, he said voltage, not amperage. Brain fart. Tennessee's getting old like me too.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was voltage, not the drops.
Yeah, so basically your voltage drops from 12 volt down to 6 volts. But yeah, so if you want to do, if you want a simple way to do it, 200 watt solar panels, a 1500 continuous 3000 surge, and you're going to want that 3000 surge for when the electric motor kicks on in your refrigerator. Pure sine wave, a decent charge controller. A decent charge controller will run you about $60, and then to start out with, a couple of good deep cycle batteries, preferably golf cart batteries, because they're made to run power out. And and then again, if you got the money to go a little bit better, the lithium iron phosphate battery is the way to go. I'm going to check something out here now real quick and go over to the other computer again.
Kaylin had to slip out.
Take care, Kaylin. All right, see ya, Kaylin. All right, let me try this again here. Yeah, I'm going to have to restart this computer. It's acting up here, the other computer. All right, but that's good. All right, folks, we're coming up on the 2-hour mark. I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning, and I worked myself to death today. So today on the excavator, trying to get it so I can send it back tomorrow, not have to pay another $315 for another day. I dug out the pit for the water valve assembly out front, where I'm going to tie on, put valves in so I don't have to worry about trying to get open that funky water meter cover. It has a pentagon nut on the top of it, which you got a special tool to open it up, and run out water around for the garden and for the animals. And so I dug that out. I dug probably 200 feet of trench at a minimum of 4 foot depth, 30 inches is quote frost line, but I don't play around. I repaired the cheap ass sewer thing. Pardon my French, and I'll explain that in a second. And I actually dug it all out, set up for 2 yard hydrants, dug out the laterals on those, laid pipe, backfilled the trench in 2 spots so I could get the excavator back out to the street so they could pick it up in the morning. Washed it off, got it all cleaned up and refueled so it's good to go so they don't charge me cleaning fees. The sewer pipe, all right, sewer pipe, most people think of black plastic or ABS pipe for sewers, right? Well, they can use PVC, Schedule 40 or higher. So Schedule 40, Schedule 80, not Class 200, and sure as hell effing not Class 125. Using Class 125, all right, good night, Chuck. Using Class 125 PVC is against the law in every state of the United States. And in some states, it carries hefty fines, like California. Well, the idiots here that installed this modular home, they ran, coming out of the foundation, they ran ABS, and when I get the video out of my tying in off of it, you'll see where the ABS comes out about 10 feet, 45, and turns. And sometime shortly after that turn, they swapped it up to PVC Class 125 and ran it out under the street to the manhole across the street. Well, they also laid it adverse in several sections. Adverse is, all right, so if this is the flow from the water's flowing this way here. Adverse is when it turns this way here and the water builds up and up till it gets over the hump. Sewer pipe should have 1 inch for every 10 feet fall.
Because of the water pressure, right? The pressure.
No,
right?
this is just sewer. This is sewer, just so it flows. You know,
okay.
When I worked construction, we had a saying: there's only 2 things you need to worry about. Paydays every Thursday, and sewer flows downhill. The one thing you got to remember: sewer flows downhill, not uphill. A lot of stores no longer carry Class 125 PVC at all. It is so friggin' thin. It's probably, Schedule 40 is probably, I would say, at least 5 or 6 times as thick as Class 125. I can take 125 2-inch pipe and deform it in my hand. All right.
Hi,
That's
Stuart.
right, Stuart. Gravity. And so these anal orifices, when nobody was looking, they dug the ditch. Inspector was out. As soon as the inspector was gone, they pulled out as much as the ABS pipe they were getting ready to lay down in and glue together after the inspector left, and put in the PVC stuff because it's like 1/10 the price. They didn't put it on. They didn't dig the ditch deep enough because when it comes out from the foundation, it hits that 45, and in the next 10 feet, instead of going down 1 inch, it comes up 1 inch. So you're losing 1 inch of flow, and you can get crap and sediment build up in there. At the point there where that 45 was coming out, and you'll see it in the video later when I get it edited over on Camp Patton Family Compound, was 18 inches from there to the surface. Should have been 24 inches. Out where I near the street where I was started my line going through, originally they had a dirt driveway here, 12 inches of cover. Brandon brought in 6 inches of gravel and put over it. This was several years. Brandon wasn't the original owner. He bought it 5 years after it was built. Yeah, so 12 inches of cover over a sewer line is so illegal. Using class 125 PVC is so illegal. If I knew that company was still around from back in 1995, I would sue them. But yeah, it's yeah. Anyways, yeah. So I was working out there constantly digging stuff, and the thing is, so when digging on a hoe, you need to have 2 people with you. You need to have a grade checker, and you have a laborer in the ditch leveling out the little oopses and stuff. You know, with a shovel just to make sure everything's level right, and you know. So I was by myself. So I'm digging, knocking piles down, checking my grade and everything else. I was sweating so bad when I took a short break, went over to see the grandkids. I was wearing my green hat, and my grandkids love to take my hat off and put it on. You know, my hat. They grabbed my hat, they put it on their heads. Aiden grabbed it, put it on his head, it dropped down, and he goes, "Ew, it's wet. Ew, it stinks." Yeah, and he threw it. Danny, the 3.5-year-old, picks it up, goes to pick it up, put it on. I go, "Smell it first," and he goes, "Ew." Oliver, 2-year-old, when Danny held it out, grabbed it, put it on his head, walked around. He didn't care. He's still in diapers. His diapers smell worse than my hat.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, it's the thing is, so where it's 1 foot of coverage out there is 15 feet from the roadway. It needs to be starting under the roadway at 4 feet to go under a roadway. Minimum. Even here in Idaho, it's got to have 4 feet minimum. And it was at 1 feet, 15 feet away. That must have mean as it went, they bent that pipe and stovepiped it down. Anyways, yeah, I'm thoroughly pissed off about them. And then the bucket on my Coyote, the bucket cylinder broke on me. It's like,
no.
There, I froze you. You didn't see most of my hand signals. Yeah. So yeah. Let me go. I'm just getting pissed over here about this. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn this one off here. Boom. Hopefully that turned off totally. Anyways, yeah, computer's off. Give it a second. I'll turn it back on. See if that reboots everything. Anyway, so
well, we're coming up to 2-hour mark here, Gil. Like
yeah, coming up on 2-hour mark, and I'm so tired. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. And
and he's freezing.
All right, I'm back there. Okay, this one's here on that one. Need to change this to we'll do VGA. Yeah, so I'm going to wrap. I went totally good there. So now let me start up. Yeah, now it's trying to start up. Okay, so coming up here, let me get up the one up here so I can see what it is here. There we go. All right, so coming up on Monday, June 6th, on Camp Patton Family Compound. The topic, that's at 8 o'clock Eastern. We'll be talking about plants that defend your garden. And as a prepper, if you're not planting a garden, you're not a real prepper. CR, you have a garden, right?
Even Kaylin has one.
Yeah, you know, even Kaylin and
even Kaylin has one. Come on, if Kaylin has one, we must have one.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to be talking about plants that help defend your gardens. Then on Tactical Tuesday and CR, I want you, if you can make it, 10 o'clock Tuesday night. I want to be talking about little tins emergency kits.
Oh, okay. If I
Now
don't
you'll
make it
wanna
on
watch-
Monday, I'll make it for Tuesday for sure now.
Yeah,
I'll be time for
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay.
Because CR does a bunch of these, and I may even invite Uncle Al up.
Woo!
Yeah,
Gil
because
and Uncle Al.
my boss doesn't watch this channel. He just doesn't like Uncle Al for some reason. I'm not going to get into that here, but so
Yeah. Ooh, I can't wait.
Stuart, the construction company I work for, we got 2 coyotes, small coyotes, and 2 Kubotas. In 6 months, the boss had gotten rid of the Kubotas, and that company has never bought a Kubota again. And it's a big construction company. The coyotes that we had no problems with. I don't know what happened. I have a feeling is that the lock nut inside this the cylinder on the head on the piston of the cylinder came loose and it started unscrewing over time, and it got down to just a few threads, and it just, when I put some pressure on it, just went pow.
Gil, what time is that stream on Tuesday?
10 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, okay.
8 Mountain Time, 7 Pacific, 9 Central, and I forget what it is for Yossi.
Fill in the blanks for Yossi.
For those who don't know Yossi is in Israel. Yossi in the Simple Kitchen is one channel, and Yossi the Concrete Gardener Israel is his other channel. So anyway, so that's what's coming up this week here, and then of course next Thursday is going to be wherever the talk takes us. And
thanks for having me on, Gil. I appreciate you giving me an invite to this. It's nice chatting with everyone.
Side chat here, if you want to come up on here and join us, you're more than welcome to.
I'll share the spotlight with everyone.
Okay, let's see what happens here. All right, here comes the big test here. Okay.
See, by the way, I'm outside.
Yeah.
With a solar light.
Okay,
solar light.
I'm going to try to see what happens here. If this is going to bring it back up. No, I don't want to know that. I want to do this thing here. Reopen, close windows. There we go. And let's just see. Will it bring it up? Guess what? Hang on, folks. I may have to mute this thing here real quick here. That's what it was. And hang on. Okay, muting that speaker and plugging this one in over there. And let me see.
There, I'm up here, and let me get. Oh, there's 2 Gils! Twice as much fun, folks!
Twins.
Yeah, twins. See, there's me and the evil twin. Over there. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and kill this other one over here and remove. Boom. There we go. Boom. Yeah. So, yeah. So that's what it was. The computer just needed to be restarted. Stupid Microsoft. At least it wasn't as bad as it were an Apple product. Yeah, there was an echo. I'm president. Joe. Brandon. Oh, gee.
Time to go.
All right, folks. It's 12 o'clock. Going to wrap it up here. So I just want to thank everyone that showed up here. Thanks, especially for coming up on here. And thank everybody in the side chat for your comments and input. And next Thursday, if you want to come up on here,
I'll share.
Yeah, let me know. I mean, just saying, hey, can I come up? All right. And also, if you look down below, I think it is there. Hang on, let me take a look see here at it. Let me double check. I think I have it in the description down here. Yes, my email is down below in the description. or you can go to the Camp Patent Fund, either one, and you can send me an email saying, "Hey, send me the link," and I can shoot you the email with the link in it right away in case we happen to have a troll hanging around. I don't want to put the link out there, but we have a troll.
Hi, Idaho Garden Girl. I didn't know you were in here.
All right, Tennessee Bushcrafter says to email him. Let's see if I can make this work right here.
I got pics to send you.
What the hell? Oh, that's what it was. Restore set pages. There we go. I think it was Edge that was screwing it up because Edge is saying, do this, do that, and everything else now. All right, so let me take a quick look here. So we're going to wrap it up here. If you guys want to go, I'm just going to go ahead.
You said that 5 minutes ago.
Oh, Idaho Garden Girl. Hey, how's it going? So if you guys want to cut out, go ahead and cut out. I'm going to send, see if I can do it this way here. Actually, crap. I'm going to have to do it on this computer.
I like how Gil said he was going to take off 5 minutes ago, and we're still here.
Yeah, I'm still here. So,
I'm still here too.
Yeah. All right. Let me go. Tennessee Bush. I love that. I keep forgetting that they put this back in for moderators. Go to channel. Boom.
Oh yeah, they added that back in.
Yeah,
I've noticed a few things. Oh, hey Gil, that reminds me. If you make a channel moderator now, they give you an indication now of what it says.
Yeah.
It actually tells you, like, it pops up something now.
Oh, Tennessee Bushcrafter. Your email. Oh, there it is. Okay, you have it up in the description there. Okay, so I take that. Control C. And so it's going to be coming from Camp Patent Family Compound. And the subject is test. And it says test in it. So there's the email coming to you, Tennessee. Yeah.
All right. Now's the time.
Yeah. So, all right, I'm going to wrap it up here now. I just want to thank everybody for coming up here. Everyone for standing with me, dealing with the problem of my other computer going and all the other crap going on tonight.
Take care, people.
Hey, if you see me, I'm still smiling, right? So stay happy no matter what life throws at you, including a broken sewer line.
Again.
And fly-by-night contractors.
Again.
Keep at it. Don't do anything foolish. Wear your seatbelts when operating heavy equipment. And keep adding to your preps the best you can. Improve your situation no matter any way you can do it. Plant more in your garden. And I'll see you guys Monday night on Camp Patent Family Compound for the Monday Night Fireside.
Take care, everyone.
Take care. And end.